事无上周，事无等等周，能除一切苦，真实不虚，不说般若波罗蜜多周，即说周曰揭谛揭谛波罗揭谛波罗僧揭谛菩提所婆诃。
Amituofo, Shaolin history. Shaolin Gong Fu and Chan Buddhism are one. Just as you cannot separate your mind from your body, Chan cannot be separated from the martial practice of the temple. Thus, to discuss Shaolin history thoroughly, we must first start with the origins of Buddhism. Shakyamuni Buddha and the founding of Buddhism. The founder of Buddhism, Siddhartha Gautama, was a prince born to the Shakya clan in what is now Nepal, about 500 BCE. At his birth, a sage predicted he would become either a great king or a great spiritual leader. His father, of course, wanted him to become king, so he tried to shelter him as much as possible within the palace walls. However, as he got older, Siddhartha wanted to see the kingdom he would one day rule. Despite his father's best efforts on his tour, he encountered suffering in the form of sickness, old age, and death. He resolved to give up his comfortable royal life to become a holy man in order to find the cause of suffering and a way to end it. After studying under several teachers and mastering their philosophies, Siddhartha was still not satisfied. He had tried several methods of spiritual attainment practiced at the time, ranging from begging to meditation to asceticism. One day he sat beneath a fig tree and resolved not to get up until he had found the answer to his questions. After 49 days of meditation, he discovered the truth of the middle way, and from then on was known as Buddha, which means the awakened one.
He also was called Shakyamuni, or Shirjamuni Pho, in Chinese. Shakyamuni means sage of the Shakya clan. For the rest of his life, he traveled around teaching the philosophy or Dharma to anyone and everyone who desired to study with him. He formed the Sangha, the community of monks, who would record and continue his teachings after his death. Chan Buddhism is said to have originated at one of Shakyamuni Buddha's sermons. One day, the Buddha brought his disciples together for a sermon on the Dharma. However, the Buddha did not say a single word, but simply held up a flower. Although many of his disciples tried to understand the meaning of this, only one, Mahakasyapa, fully understood. He smiled, and the Buddha acknowledged his realization. Chan is said to be a direct transmission of the Dharma outside of the sutras, texts recording the teachings of the Buddha. Passed mind to mind, heart to heart, from master to disciple. The Shaolin Temple was founded in 495 by the Indian monk Abbot, or Buddhabhadra. After traveling to China, he received permission from Emperor Shaowen of the Northern Wei dynasty to build a temple at the foot of Shaoshi Mountain in the Song Mountain range in the Henan province. The word Lin means forest in Chinese. Thus, the temple was named Shaolin for the forest at the foot of Shaoshi Mountain. Abbot preached the orthodox teachings of Hinayana, or Nikaya Buddhism, Shaosheng in Chinese. In this type of Buddhism, which closely follows the teachings of Shakyamuni, there are 250 rules for monks
and 500 rules for nuns. Abbot had two disciples named Sheng Chou and Hui Guang, who were both martial artists before becoming monks. They were the first ones to bring martial arts to the temple.
Bodhidharma. Bodhidharma, Putidamo, or just Damo in Chinese, was another prince of a clan in what is now India. He also chose to leave the royal life to become a monk. When Bodhidharma came to the temple in 527, he brought the teachings of Chan Buddhism, part of the Mahayana, Decheng school. This understanding had been passed down directly from Mahakasyapa to Bodhidharma's master Prajnatara, who was the 27th in the lineage. Bodhidharma was the 28th and the first patriarch of Chan in China. Bodhidharma created 4 integral parts of Shaolin Kung Fu, also sutras. They were 2 Qigong forms, the Yi Jin Jing, Muscle Tendon Changing Sutra, and the Shi Sui Jing, Bone Marrow Washing Sutra, the Wu Xing Chuan, the 5 original animal forms, dragon, tiger, leopard, crane, and snake, the Lohan Shiba Sho, the 18 Lohan palms. Bodhidharma's disciple Hui Ke was, like Seng Sho and Hui Guang, a military man before becoming a monk, and also brought martial arts knowledge to the temple. Hui Ke became Damo's successor, and after him, there were 4 more before the lineage ended. They were Seng Kang, Dao Shen, Hong Ren, and Hui Neng.
Hui Neng. Hui Neng, the 6th patriarch, was an illiterate man from the south, and thus considered by the elite to be a barbarian. However, his spiritual understanding was very high. One day while delivering firewood, he overheard a monk reciting the Diamond Sutra, and instantly became enlightened. He asked the monk what the text was and where he was from, and soon made arrangements to study with the 5th patriarch, Hong Ren, at Dongshan Monastery. Upon meeting, Hong Ren immediately knew that Hui Neng had very deep understanding. However, because of Hui Neng's background, he was put to work pounding rice and chopping wood so that people would not notice him. One day, Hong Ren assembled his disciples and told them all to write him a poem. The writer of the poem that demonstrated full understanding of the Dharma would become his successor. All of the disciples assumed their older brother, Shen Shu, would easily accomplish this, and so none wrote their own poems. Shen Shu, after writing his poem, went to the patriarch's chamber many times over the course of the next few days. But every time he became too nervous to submit the poem, he finally resolved to write the poem anonymously on a wall, to see Hong Ren's reaction later. His poem read, "Our body is the Bodhi tree, and our mind a mirror bright. Carefully we wipe them hour by hour, and let no dust alight." When he saw the poem the next day, Hong Ren announced that those who practice the poem will gain merit and not be born into lower levels of existence. That night, he spoke with Shen Shu, who admitted to being the poem's author. Hong Ren told him that he had not yet attained the highest level. The next day, Hui Neng overheard someone reciting the poem while he was working. He also knew that the author was not yet at the highest level. He asked someone to write another poem next to it, as he was illiterate.
Hui Neng's poem read, "There is no Bodhi tree, nor is a clear mirror the stand. Originally, all is empty. So where can the dust motes land?" All present were shocked that a southern barbarian could have written such a poem. Hong Ren quickly announced that this poem's author had also not attained enlightenment and rubbed it off the wall. However, that night, Hong Ren brought Hui Neng to his room and secretly passed on his alms bowl and robes, the symbol of the patriarch. Thus, Hui Neng became the 6th and final patriarch of Bodhidharma's lineage.
事无上周，事无等等，周能除一切苦，真实不虚。不说般若波罗蜜多，周即说周曰揭谛揭谛波罗揭谛波罗僧揭谛。 菩提所婆诃。